It's spooky season, and I can't think of a better movie to really capture the vibe of the season than 1999's Sleepy Hollow, directed by Tim Burton and starring Johnny Depp. So anyway, we're going to review it. Let's go. Sleepy Hollow stars Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, Miranda Richardson, and is directed by Tim Burton. What's up, guys? It is patron request time. We are going to review Sleepy Hollow, directed by Tim Burton. This is for Bronson Wright Wolf, who always gives me very interesting movies to review every month. And I couldn't think of a better one to do this month than Sleepy Hollow. I just reviewed Beetlejuice, the original Beetlejuice, for him, and then we had the new Beetlejuice come out last month. So I guess I've been in kind of a Tim Burton mood lately, which is kind of cool. I'm not like the biggest Tim Burton fan, but I think he does have some really great movies, and I think he's one of the most important directors of our generation, just because he has just such a unique stamp. And movies like Sleepy Hollow, you can definitely see his like Hammer influence. This movie was highly influenced by those early Hammer films. Even has like Christopher Lee in it. And Christopher Lee was very thankful for this movie because he said it revitalized his career, and it led to him getting Saruman in the Lord of the Rings movies, Dooku in the Star Wars, Attack of the Clones. And this gave me a good opportunity to finally give Sleepy Hollow another watch. I haven't seen the movie in ages, and I didn't remember much of it, but I will tell you, from this watch, I am reminded of how strikingly beautiful this movie looks. It is gorgeous, and it really just captures that that October spooky vibe. A lot of the colors are muted in the movie, which is nice because this is probably Tim Burton's most graphic movie. There's a lot of blood. I wouldn't say there's like an overabundance of blood like normal horror movies, but for Tim Burton, there is a good amount of blood in this movie, and the blood really accents the picture because of how muted the picture looks. I was reading behind the scenes that the blood actually had to be like a bright orange because they used like a blue filter on the movie to give it the look that it did, which is always interesting to me. But, you know, as far as a plot synopsis, this is the legendary story of Sleepy Hollow with, Ichabod Crane, played by Johnny Depp. Now, if you don't know the story of Sleepy Hollow, I used to watch the cartoon back in the day, but in this movie, it's about a murder that happens at the very beginning of the movie, which I love that freaking pumpkin. But the Headless Horseman kind of creeped me out as a kid, even in the cartoon, because he decapitates his victims. But I never really knew the backstory of him, so you get a good telling of the backstory in this movie. But he is a striking character, and I've always found him very interesting. But Johnny Depp plays Ichabod Crane, and he is sent to the town of Sleepy Hollow to investigate these murders and to try to find out why they're happening, who the Headless Horseman is. And he's just an interesting character, and I love the way Johnny Depp played him. Very keen on forensics and, wanting to capture every little detail of a crime scene and try to, put the pieces together and figure out why it's happening. And he notices along the way that there's a bit of a supernatural element that is happening here that also involves like some witchcraft. Now, there is this family called the Van Tassels here. Christina Ricci plays the daughter, and her father is a sort of a suspect, and of course she takes offense to that. It's a fun little whodunit, and I will admit, watching it this time around, I didn't remember like who the killer was. Of course, I remembered that the Headless Horseman was Christopher Walken in the movie, although the actual stunt actor that played him was Ray Park. We all know him as Darth Maul. Miranda Richardson, she plays the stepmother, and we all know how that usually goes in these movies. Stepmothers are usually looked upon as a huge red herring. I'll just say that. Do I want to spoil Sleepy Hollow? Sure, why not? I'll fucking spoil it. Who cares? Yeah, of course, she was she played a part in setting up the Headless Horseman, because there's a backstory with her and her little sister. And so really, at the end of the day, it's a revenge story. I thought Johnny Depp was the perfect actor to play Ichabod Crane, even though, like, in the original story, Ichabod Crane is not supposed to be a very attractive guy. But Burton wanted Johnny Depp to play him as kind of a buffoon, even though he's good at his job, and yeah, he is visually attractive. He wanted him to come off as kind of an idiot, not a very masculine type of guy. You know, as you can see in the scene with the bugs on the floor, and he freaks out. But I think Johnny Depp, he played that character to perfection. He is a chameleon. Johnny Depp always plays these eccentric parts, I think, better than most actors. Just because he's fearless. He'll do anything. And sometimes I'll even say, I don't think Johnny Depp gets the credit that he deserves. Yeah, I don't think people are saying he's a bad actor, but his versatility is quite unmatched, I think. Not to say he's the best actor ever. You know, if you want to compare him to like Daniel Day-Lewis and Gary Oldman, I think that's a different class. But I got to give Depp credit for his fearlessness in, you know, taking on any type of role. Maybe that's the reason why he was the go-to guy for Tim Burton for so long. I like Christina Ricci in the movie. We all love Christina Ricci. Although I will say, if I had to pick it apart a little bit, I will say I don't think she nails the British accent like she's supposed to. There are a couple times where the American accent slips in there, but it doesn't take me out of the movie. Like, she's not Keanu Reeves in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Okay, it's not that bad. Christopher Walken doesn't have a single line in this movie. I think he like kind of lets out a roar once in the movie, but he's also got these like fang-like teeth. There's a really disturbing scene when he kisses the stepmother, Lady Van Tassel. It's just really graphic. So I think Christopher Walken, he definitely plays like the perfect monster. He's the perfect, I guess, face of the Headless Horseman. But, you know, of all the Tim Burton movies, I think you can file this in, like, you know, amongst the most Tim Burton-esque movies. It definitely feels like a Tim Burton movie. And it's really great for spooky season. So, definitely giving this one a high purchase worthy. Sleepy Hollow is a classic. And it's one that you could watch every year and really have a good time with it. So yeah, that's my review for Sleepy Hollow. Let me know your thoughts on the movie in the comments. Looking forward to hearing them. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, Review for Fridays. Follow my Drumdums on my social, Sprint and Patreon, buy me coffee. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Drumdum out.